Oh, yeah.
Stickball Sports!
Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm Chris Gagg here, Stickball Sports, with another New York Giants video. I'm going to say one word. I'm sure you know where I'm going to go with this, and that is Deandre Baker. Whew, what a stand-up citizen this guy is, huh? But listen, so when the story came out, I want to say a few things. And when the story came out, I literally said I'm going to make a video about this. And because I have to talk about this. This is the craziest thing I've ever heard. And then I thought to myself, you know, in my own life, how many times that we're so quick to judge others, right? I mean, it's really simple. Somebody does something bad, we're really quick to just judge them and go with the consensus opinion. So what I'm going to say might be a little different than what other people have said out there. I know a lot of people have bashed him, have said things about him, have said we don't need him, he's trash, he's another, I hate for the stereotype to even be bringing this up, but, another inner city hoodlum punk that knows how to play a sport and was handed a lot of money and obviously is squandering his career. My take is a little different, and when all this stuff was going on, I got to be honest, it had me really, really confused. Really confused. Kind of like this. But as I said, everybody was so quick to judge this guy. New York papers were tearing him apart. I saw an article from Servy that pretty much said that he was one of the worst mistakes the Giants made. And let's also remember something. In this country, we have something called innocent until proven guilty. Not guilty until proven innocent. It's not how this works, okay, guys? If anybody has been in a courthouse or has been arrested or has made some mistakes in their early age, maybe in their later age for some of them, but if you ever made a mistake, I've made some mistakes when I was young. Things happen. Being a hothead, and I got myself into some trouble at one time, and I know what it cost me to get out of it. It's really easy to get in trouble. It's really hard to get out of it. That's the way this works. And you learn from your prior mistakes. That's how this is supposed to work, right? You learn, hey, you know what? That shit cost me a lot of money. And well, that cost me a job, and I can't do this, and I have to do that. And it is not a fun route to go. And anybody that is in the judicial system will tell you it is an absolute nightmare. It's not something that I take light. It's also something that if you look at the stats in our country, we have the most criminals per capita in the world in the United States. And this story was so twisted when it came out that I actually had to sit down and say, you know what? I'm not going to say anything about this until the facts come out. You got Stephen A. Smith. Rah, 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 rah. That guy's a goddamn moron. I don't agree with most of the things he says. And a lot of these talking heads, it's just nothing but static and hot air, right? So, Deandre Baker goes into this party, right? And this is how the story started. His lawyer now has come out and said that all these charges are going to be dropped against him. So we can only hope so. But bottom line is, I think everybody knows the story by now. If you guys don't, I'm going to give you a quick rundown. Deandre Baker goes into a party the previous night. Well, let's just talk about this. He lost $70,000, which is now been told that was a complete lie. He did not lose $70,000 between him and Dunbar the previous night. He goes into this party, and for what was said is that he held everybody up at gunpoint. The man made $9 million last year. If he did this, he's an absolute moron. And guess what? He deserves what he's going to get. If he's putting a gun in people's faces, He deserves to be off the streets. He deserves to go to jail. He deserves to lose his contract. But if he didn't, there's something even worse going on here in this country. Young men like this, and people can get mad at me all they want. Young people like this, and he is a prime example. He's 21, 22 years old, okay, with a lot of money. He is a prime target for everyone, for business opportunities that aren't really business opportunities. It's, you're going to make me rich, and I'm going to use your money to fund my lifestyle and get me where I need to go. A lot of these guys have no idea when they get put this type of money, they get involved in all types of businesses and they don't legally protect themselves. I have been blessed to open a few businesses and sell a couple. You need to protect yourself. It's the bottom line. So, Deandre Baker's at this party now, supposedly. And this is where so many people have talked so badly about this guy. And the truth of the matter is it might not have happened. Now, he took people's watches off their wrist, and supposedly one was a fake watch. God can only imagine. Brings me up a story one time where I was on spring break and one of my buddies ended up going to jail, got arrested. I believe he got arrested for shoplifting, and we had to get him out. And we all took our watches, fake watches, and this is when Tag Heuer was like a big thing. And we sold our Tag Heuers, I think, for like $2,000 each. And I think we paid like $35 each on Canal Street. So, funny story about that. But anyways, guys, bottom line is, this guy walks out with supposedly the watches, the cash, and he's gone. And one other person came into the party, and supposedly he told the person he was with to shoot that motherfucker or whatever else he said. Which holds a lifetime sentence in the state of Florida. Being that I just moved back to New York from Florida, Florida has some of the most lax laws in general when it comes down to firearms in the country. It's really kind of a crazy. There's some crazy laws, like hold your ground and all those things that people have gotten away with absolute murder because of them. But it's not. I'm not going to get political. I think it's everybody's right to have a gun. But he had it legally. He had a carry permit. That's simple. He had all documentation on it. He did everything the right way. And now supposedly he comes out from his lawyer. And listen, his lawyer is going to paint a picture here. But he's doing a really good job. And the reasons I'm starting to look at this and say, you know what? If this is true, this is a fucking travesty. That this guy's reputation was destroyed. Was he in the wrong place at the wrong time? Was he probably around people he shouldn't have been around? Yeah, he is. But it shouldn't cost him his career. It shouldn't cost him where every sports agency across the country and every media outlet is destroying the fucking kid. Destroying him. And that's why I didn't want to make a video on this. So many people, even content creators, giant content creators that I really respect, destroyed this kid. For what? You didn't have any facts. You don't even know what's going on. None of us do. And to act like you do because TMZ reported it, you look like a moron if this is wrong. Because you don't know. And I'm not going to put judgment on somebody. Listen, I've been judged many times in my life, unfortunately. And it's not fun. It's not fun when you're in the wrong or you're in the wrong place at the wrong time. He's got to learn from those mistakes, just like I did, just like a lot of people do. Look at Robert Downey Jr. Look at him. I mean, he made a lot of mistakes when he was younger. Do you look at Robert Downey Jr. as a wild man now? Absolutely not. But in his younger years, he sure as hell was. He had to learn some mistakes and clean himself up and realize what was important to him. And the things he was doing wasn't going to get him very far. So, what I'm getting at is give this kid a break. Let's see what happens. His attorney now is spinning this, which I will say he's spinning it. But if these facts are true, this is a travesty. So, what his attorney said, which I'm going to put it up here right now, is that pretty much this guy was a target by these individuals that he was with because he had money, and they were pretty much shaking him down. And it wouldn't shock me to see another young athlete threatened with somebody asking for money or whatever it may be. I heard of a story years ago when I was in Miami, and there was a professional athlete that we knew, and he told me that by two separate women when he was a rookie and his second year in the league, in 2 years, his first 2 years in the league, he was blackmailed 3 times. So we're not going to act like this stuff doesn't happen. It happens all the time. And a lot of these guys don't go to the police. They don't want to go to the police. Keep in mind, a lot of these players come from the inner city. Going to the police, it's not really encouraged. Let's put it that way. So I get it. They just rather, just like my friend years ago, he said I paid it. I'd rather just pay it, and never do it again. So what I'm getting at is Deandre Baker might have been a knucklehead. He might have been at the wrong place at the wrong time. He might have made some really poor decisions. But if this is true, and he did not put a gun in a man's face or somebody's face, he did not threaten people that he was going to shoot them, he did not rob people with a gun, it's called armed robbery in this country, then he deserves the benefit of the doubt. And he deserves the benefit of the doubt until he's guilty in this country. You're innocent until you're proven guilty. So let's see what happens. And that's all I'm going to say, guys. And what we're going to do as a team, we have a lot of options. We've drafted very well. This year's draft, last year's draft, we got a surplus of guys. And listen, we have a lot of guys with a lot of high-end potential. So I'm not going to say that Baker's he's better than all of them. And honestly, he had a lot of growing up to do, and missing meetings that are hearing this is continuing going on. But what do we really know? Is that the truth? So only the coaches and the GM know. And one thing I want to get at, and the people that are destroying Dave Gettleman for this, you guys are fucking morons. You guys are fucking morons. Obviously, you don't know how fucking the world works. Okay? This isn't his fault. He could only do... Okay, he had some red flags that everybody's talking about now. Okay. He didn't have red flags where the guy, pulled guns on people. Armed robbery. He didn't have those type of red flags. His red flags were, he's not so coachable. Okay? That's a red flag. His other red flag, you know what it was? Anybody have any idea? That he likes to do things his way. That's what most of the arguments with him was, that he was a selfish player. I can live with that. Was Deion Sanders not a selfish player? Okay. Enough, guys. I'm not going to make this too long-winded, but you get my jest. Whatever the fuck that word means. But I will see you guys next time. All right, Nitty Crew. See you later. I'm out. All right, guys. I hope everybody's staying safe out there with this coronavirus and taking precautions, and hopefully get back to normal life here real soon. And with that, tell me what you think. Give me what your thoughts are on this Baker situation. If people are overreacting, if people are rushing to judgment, or just the young kid who just made a real stupid mistake. What do you think? Give me your thoughts. Leave your thoughts in the comments.
Yeah.